Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I originally started doing these videos. They're political videos, but I wanted them to be educational because I'm kind of a political junkie, and the people around me kind of look at me weird. So I figure I'll do these videos and they'll get a better understanding of where I'm coming from. I've been wanting to do the Bill of Rights for a long time. For those of you who don't know, the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution of the United States. And in those 10 amendments are enumerated most, or a good portion of our rights. And it's very, very important that you know them. Okay? So, here we go. The Bill of Rights. I'm starting with the First Amendment. I'm going to read it verbatim and then we'll discuss it. Here we go. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Okay? That's what it says. As Antonin Scalia used to say, Supreme Court Justice, it says what it says and it doesn't say what it doesn't say. Okay, so here we go. Congress shall make no law respecting da-da-da-da-da. Notice how it's phrased. Congress shall make no law. It doesn't say, we have, as Americans, we have the right to do this, because it's already assumed we do. This is limiting Congress. Congress shall make no law. It's important you understand that. The U.S. Constitution limits the government. It doesn't limit the people. Establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. You can be a Jew. You can be a Christian. You can be a Muslim. You can be a Scientologist. You can be a Druid. You can worship a sock puppet. Nobody cares. As long as you're worshiping your religion the way you want to worship it, and you're not hurting nobody, and you're not doing nothing illegal, nobody cares. Okay? I don't care. Nobody cares. Alright? Here's a funny line from an old movie called Paint Your Wagon. The guy says, I don't care how a man prays, there's room in hell for all of us. And I love that line. It's a great line. Great movie if you haven't seen it. Leah Marvin and Clint Eastwood, and it's a musical. So anyway, all right, religion. We did that. What I think where religion gets into problems is when these cults, and I call them cults because they're they break the law. They have child brides. They do human sacrifice. Blah 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 blah. My point is, it's when you break the law that's when the religion part comes into question. But as long as you're not breaking the law, you can, and everything's consensual and you're not forcing nobody, everything's on the up and up, nobody cares. Worship whatever you want. Nobody cares. A freedom of speech. This is one of the most important ones. I'm making these videos. I have the right to say what I want to say. And I'm going to keep saying it as long as I got breath in my body. Conversely, you have the right to say what you want to say. You do. And if anybody tries to tell you to shut up, you can tell them to go to hell. You're protected by the First Amendment. I'm protected by the First Amendment. Everybody, every American is protected by the First Amendment. And that means if somebody tries to shut you up, I got your back. I'll come and help you if you need it. I'll be there. Okay? Even if I don't like what you got to say, what you have to say, I will defend to the death your right to say it. Okay? That's the First Amendment. We have all these conservative speakers go into these colleges, universities, and the local Democrats to get together and they hold riots and everything to shut them down. Well, the excuse they give is, oh, that conservative, he's spouting hate speech. No, hate speech is an invented term. There's no such thing as hate speech. Now, there certainly is hateful rhetoric. Let's not mince words there. But the term hate speech is simply speech you don't agree with. And keep in mind, popular speech doesn't need defending. The First Amendment was written for unpopular speech. If everybody agrees with you, what's the point of having the First Amendment? Okay? Think about that. Freedom of the press. I wish MSNBC and CNN would try doing a little honesty in their reporting. That would be nice. Be a nice change of pace, because they really are fake news. I mean, they'll manipulate what's said. I've seen them do it. I watched everything. Like I said, I'm a political junkie. I watched everything that Donald Trump said during the campaign, the 2016 campaign, and I would watch what he said, and I would listen to what CNN reported, and it was virtually antithetical. It was the opposite. It was certainly not what he said. And nobody can make that many mistakes. It's got to be intentional. They're doing it on purpose. This mainstream media, they're lying to us, and we know they're lying to us. They're manipulating us. Okay, that's what they're doing. They shouldn't do it. But all that being said, they have the right to say what they want to say. There's a man named Bill Maher. He is about as leftist as you can get. I disagree with him on virtually everything he says. I agree with him on two topics: Islam and the First Amendment. When they were banning Alex Jones, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. Bill Maher came out and said, I don't agree with what Alex Jones says. I disagree with everything the man says, but he has the right to speak. Okay, Bill Maher said he has the right to speak because he's protected by the First Amendment. Bill Maher, God bless you. Never thought I'd say that. Now, the right of the people peaceably to assemble. If you have an event, or if you have a speech you want to give, or if you have something that you think needs to be said, you can go down and get a permit, and you can book a venue, whatever venue you want, and go down and have people show up and say what you want to say. Okay, you can't do that in other countries. There are other countries that they frown on that. I was watching a video from, I want to say it was Turkey, but don't quote me. And they had this reporter, and he had his cameraman was out there, and he was up there doing his little interview. And there was some protests going on, and the soldiers were pushing the protesters back. You've seen them do it on video, on TV and everything. Well, anyway, when they got to this reporter, the soldiers didn't treat him any different. They just shoved him down. They kicked the camera. They had the guy. They pushed the reporter down on the ground. I mean, it was. My buddy was watching it with me. He goes, "Well, they can't do that. It's a violation of the First Amendment." And I said, "Dude, they don't have the First Amendment over there. There is no First Amendment there. That soldier was doing what he was told. But it's illegal. Not there, it ain't. Keep that in mind. Okay, this country's, it's nice living in America. You've got a lot of freedoms here you don't have anywhere else. To petition the government for a redress of grievances. If the government does you dirt, if you don't like what they're doing, you can go and tell them, hey, that's wrong, and here's why. Boom, 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 boom. You can file lawsuits against them. Yeah, you can't do that in every country. In some countries, you file a lawsuit and you get killed for it, or imprisoned or whatever. People go, well, America sucks. Well, no, America's the greatest country in the world, and this is one of the reasons why. Okay, so keep that in mind next time you see some of these protests going on in foreign countries where they're using tear gas and water cannons, or worse, because there is an or worse. All right, well, hopefully I made a lot of this a little more understandable. Go back and review my videos, Know Your Rights, Part 1 and 2, because they're very important. I tried to make them as powerful as I could. The idea is to reach people and get them to understand their rights, because people don't, and they need to. All right? So I think this is pretty much it. Y'all have a good day. God bless one and all.